Yo, what's good, people? We back at it for another episode of What's the Word with LJ Mental Podcast. You know what it is. As always, I'm your host with the most LJ. Back in here for another week. Man, so today, before I get into my word of the week, if you've been listening to me, you know I do this thing called Word of the Week related to either all my topic or some of my topics, and I have a main point. But this first thing I'm gonna get into it's not related to my word of the week, but I want to talk about it real quick. So today is March 9th, 2022. Um, this day could mean, I don't know, somebody's birthday. I actually know somebody personally today birthday today, but today in history, today is an interesting day because March 9th. You know what I'm talking about, especially in the music hip hop sense. You know today is the day 25 years ago Biggie Smalls lost his life. And cannabis, if you're a hip hop head like me, you know Cannabis said the greatest rapper of all time died on March 9th. God rest his soul, rest in peace, kid. But yeah, today, 25 years ago, Biggie lost his life. Now, it's interesting. This is something I've really been thinking about too, because when Biggie died in 1997, March 9th, 1997, today was 25 years ago. I was still like a kid. I was 7 years old when Tupac passed away in '96. 8 years old when Biggie passed away in '97. So I was still a little kid. A lot I didn't know about as I got older. Started learning more about stuff. I was always a fan of theirs, even as a kid. But it's wild that if you look at it, Biggie was only 24 years old when he passed away. His birthday was in May. Didn't quite reach his 25th birthday, unfortunately. But he was 24 years old when he died March 9th that year. You realize that more time has passed, 25 years has passed, more time has passed with Biggie being dead than he was alive. That's crazy. So 49 years of, I guess, the Biggie Smalls, Christopher Wallace. He was born in 72, passed unfortunately in 97, didn't quite reach his 25th birthday, but more time has passed with him being dead and gone than he's been alive. That's really crazy to me. That he was only 24 years old and it's officially been more time. And that's something I've really been thinking about. I'm like, man, that's really wild. Like, man, that much time has really passed since he been gone. He was still young, like as a kid, and even as I was a teenager. Like to me, Pac and Biggie was like the ultimate alpha males. They seemed a lot older than what they actually were. Like wearing the Coogie sweaters and the suits they was wearing. They was really like fly, like dressed like they was on some grown man shit, like for real. Like it was just, man, that shit is crazy to me. Like he really been gone longer than he's been alive. 25 years has passed, though. Like that's crazy. I'm a grown adult now. Like I looked at it then when he passed, then to now is just absolutely wild. Like man, oh man. And after growing up where I did in Buffalo, New York, being a kid, knowing about that too. As I get older, you hear about the stories, how he died, where he died in L.A., the intersection of Wilshire, Fairfax, in L.A., Los Angeles, outside the Peterson Automotive Museum. As a kid, I didn't know nothing about that. As an older, seeing the stories on TV, to actually living in Los Angeles now for almost 6 years myself. Next year, or I'm sorry, not next year, next week, it'll be 6 years me living in Los Angeles. That's crazy. That time has went by so quick to be. But it's just wild, just actually growing up east to seeing stuff on TV, to actually being out here physically to see these locations. Like man, it's just like I know where that intersection is now. Like I know exactly where it is, as opposed to like years ago I didn't know. I only seen it on TV. Peter Automotive Museum. I remember when I first seen it in the museum, I'm like, that's what it, I wasn't aware of what it was because the Peter's Automotive Museum, where Biggie is a party he attended, if you know the story. Um, he was coming out of there, and the intersection, the corner is where Biggie was shot. But yeah, that where he was attending a party, I think it was a magazine party. It actually looks very different now than it did in 1997. Like the colors, like the whole building just looks unique. It looks very different from every other building around the area. It's like red and has like these swirls around it, where it didn't look like that at all when Biggie was alive. So I had, when I first seen it, like I didn't even know that was a Peter Automotive Museum because I had seen pictures of it, and but yeah, not, and it's just wild that, like, man, that much time has passed, and just seeing it, like, if you come from the East Coast, or people from LA, like, or grew up out west, it's probably, it might not be nothing to them. I really don't know. I gotta ask about that. I don't know, cause might have to ask homies about that. It might not be because they so used to being out here and the exposure, all this wild shit going on, but as opposed to somebody growing up where I did, and you seeing it firsthand, it's just different. Like, man, it's just wild to me. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that real quick because I thought that was just it. Wild that more time has passed, and just make you realize life is precious, man. Like, the dude was, a man was only 24 years old. I've gotten to be a grown adult to be 33, and Biggie and Tupac didn't get a chance to get to 30. And it's wild. Biggie got a rhyme where he said being broke at 30 gave you the chills. And he never got to see 30 years old. But yeah, I just thought that was wild that more time has passed since he's been dead than he's been alive. That's just absolutely insane to me, over some really dumb shit. It's all over some dumb shit. Like, a black man killing another black man. Like, it's some wild shit. Like niggas really still tripping out here. Like, I just gotta keep it real. Like, man, that's when Biggie and Pac died the way they did. It seemed like that would be the ultimate wake up call for hip hop or whatever. Like, but it hasn't been. Like, cause more, and it's basically the same type of shit still going on out here. Like, even to this day, like all this. Like Nipsey Hussle passing away, Pop Smoke to Slim 400. The list goes on and on and on. I don't need to get into all the names. People know. But yeah, it's just wild that the same bullshit. A lot of it is over. A lot of dumb shit that really could have been prevented. Excuse me. But yeah, a lot of it is over some dumb shit that really could have been prevented, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's always like a lot of egos involved. Like, it could be over a girl, over a chain, over somebody feel disrespected. Like it's a lot over this some damn dumb shit. No matter where you come from, like every city got a hood. Like in America, like there's always cities got different politics. I see, especially growing up. Like I said, growing up from where I did. Now living in LA for 6 years, like the hood conducts things differently, but a lot of the problems that lead to deaths, especially in the black communities, like I said, the politics different, but a lot of it is over the same dumb bullshit. Like, it really is. And it's not even just celebrities, rappers' deaths. Like, just black people dying, period, over some stupid shit. It's just ridiculous. I don't really like to speak on it too much. Like, I don't really go online too much and talk about, like, deaths that's happened too much. Like, I might here and there, but like family death or like people I know, I don't really talk about it too much. But I actually lost 2 homeboys last year to gun violence in 2021. I got 2 homeboys that was gunned down personally. So yeah, I didn't really go online and talk about it. It means really no need to do that to me. But I mean, it's just sad. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's not just like famous people. Like, it's just happening to everyday people. Like, it's really sad. Like, the same bullshit going on. I just wanted to bring up the point with Biggie and Pac when they died so young. And the same bullshit still going on. A lot of it is over the same dumb shit. So, but yeah, I'm gonna spend some time talking about that because I thought today was really eerie and interesting about the time passing and all that. So now, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Switch it up a little bit because I spent 10 minutes talking about that. So, let me get in my word of the week, right? My word of the week is perception. So I guess perception wise, I guess you can kind of say like relate to what I was talking about a little bit as far as how Biggie and Pac, how they perceived, especially in like the media at that time period. They look at, because that was when I feel like white America was still figuring out what hip hop really was. Because they was calling them, instead of rappers, they were calling them rap singers or whatever they called them. But yeah, my word of the week is perception. And let me get into why. So I want to talk about Benny the Butcher, right? Griselda, comedy machine. They from Buffalo. Now Benny the Butcher is dropping the album this Friday. Tana Talk 4, based off of his block where he grew up, Montana Avenue in Buffalo, the east side of Buffalo. If you've never been to Buffalo, which a lot of people haven't, it's a hood area in Buffalo. Now, the rise of Griselda is amazing to me because it's just wild. Because I wasn't sure if I ever see somebody from my hometown ever really doing their thing, especially in hip hop like that. I mean, you got some cats here and there, like on a low, like that have done some great things for Buffalo, but no, the world hasn't really seen it like that. Outside of Rick James, and a lot of people don't even know Rick James is from Buffalo. Like a lot of people don't even know. I've told some of my homeboys from out here in LA and other places, like, well, really, I didn't know Rick James was from Buffalo, but yeah, he is. And like when he got famous, blew up, he moved to LA, just like a lot of celebrities have, and for good reason. But yeah, it's just seeing this emergence of Buffalo, like being like the first, like really like people to really do something major in Buffalo since really Rick James. I mean, you got Brian McKnight, who's also from Buffalo, but I've never really heard him claim it. There's a few other cats out there, but especially in hip hop, and it's not even just hip hop, but just somebody doing something major from my town, as we say in Buffalo. Somebody from the town. That's what we say in Buffalo. Somebody from the town. But yeah, going from where I'm from to now I'm living in Los Angeles, it's a totally different vibe. I mean, I've been in other places too, but yeah, it's just amazing to me to see somebody come, because people don't really come from Buffalo. Like it's been, I don't know if it still is now, but for a while it's third poorest city in the U.S. It's a part of New York State, so we still get the same taxes in New York City and all that, and price of housing in certain areas, but it's interesting because when you mention New York, it's a lot of like people automatically think Manhattan, NYC, Brooklyn, or wherever they think. That's when New York City is really only I mean, it's a big city, but it's only one like really small part of the entire state of New York. Like it's really southeast New York, because New York City is really in the southern eastern part of New York, the state of New York. And Buffalo's all the way on like the western part. So like people don't know about it. Like go up 30 minutes from Niagara Falls. Like a lot of folks, like especially out west, that haven't really been there. And people got this perception of Buffalo. Like a lot of people react to what they see on TV, what they hear out there. Like, and there's not really no representation worldwide outside of people that's from there. So we're seeing somebody really do their thing, make it out here from my hometown, especially like cats from the hood too. Like the east side of Buffalo is the hood. Like a lot of people like this. Don't get it twisted. Not that, and I'm not trying to glorify no hood shit. Like that's not even what it's about. But somebody from my hometown, like, And like Benny, he got a on Tana Talk 3. Uh, he got a song called Langfield. Uh, and on that song, like talking about the Langfield projects. Like a lot of people, if you're not from there, never been there, Buffalo, especially the East Side, you don't know what that is. But Langfield is a projects, just like how you got Queensbridge projects, you got uh, the Nickerson Gardens and Watts, or Grape Street, Imperial, whatever, or Magnolia projects, New Orleans, whatever projects. Like Buffalo got projects too. Every city got a hood. But yeah, just hearing that, like a lot of people, somebody might listen to that song that's from, I don't know, Detroit, or somebody might listen to it that's from I don't know, Virginia or Baltimore, L.A. I don't know, I'm just naming whatever. Somebody might hear that song, Langfield, might not know what that is. But I know exactly what Langfield is. It's just amazing. I grew up down the street from Langfield projects. So like literally right down the street from Langfield projects. So I know exactly what, like, it's just crazy to hear that on record for a lot of people to hear. Like, man, and even on Conway the Machine, who's also part of Griselda, from Buffalo. His artist on one of his songs on his new album that dropped last month, Jay Ski, he mentioned something about Bailey Ave, about a shootout happens on Bailey Avenue. I'm like, man, this is crazy to hear this stuff, like, for the world to consume, because that's my neighborhood. I grew up over there. It's just crazy to hear this shit. Like, because we don't have a lot of representation, like how, like, niggas from Queens or from Compton, from Brooklyn or South Central, like, or to lesser degree some of these other cities. It's not really been the representation like a lot of these other places, man. And like, my whole point I'm trying to get at, right? Like, people just don't know. Like, and like people that I've spoken to, right? Like, they got this perception. Like, somebody I talked to out here in LA, like, one dude, like, oh, it's full of, I met y'all from Buffalo. It's like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of white folks over there, right? A bunch of suburbs and a bunch of like this or that. Like, people just got this wild perception for whatever reason, because they don't, I guess, know whatever. Like, but no, Buffalo's not like that at all. I mean, you definitely got, it's just like every city. Like, I mean, to a smaller degree, obviously, like, it's not a very big city. But you got your good neighborhood, you got your white folks, you got your suburbs, but it also has a very part you want to avoid, especially if you don't know where you're going. You definitely got parts of the city where you don't want to go down, just like how you got in Watts or Compton or South Central, or you got in Southside Jamaica, Queens, how you got in New Orleans, certain streets you don't want to go down. Any city that got hoods, certain parts you don't want to go through. Like, seriously, Buffalo's no different. You don't want to go down the wrong part of Broadway. You don't. So you don't want to turn down the wrong part of Box or the wrong part of Fillmore. You don't. A lot of people not from LA, or I'm sorry, not from LA. A lot of people that's not from Buffalo don't know these streets. But yeah, it's just amazing to me, somebody from my city actually making it and got this perception that this or that. Even like when I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, me and one of my best friends, we was in Charlotte for CIAA, which is like if you don't know what that is, that's like a big like festival, or not even festival, but it's like a major like event for like black colleges, and a lot of events around it. Like, they got a lot of club parties, they got like some major activities that go on. They had like some gymnastics stuff going on there. Like, it's dope. Like, it's really dope, and they don't have it in Charlotte anymore. I think they moved it to Maryland, I believe. I'm not sure where it is now, but I think they did move it to Maryland. But it was in Charlotte for a long time, and I was there like 6 years ago, I believe. And at the airport, this cat from Ohio, this black dude from Ohio, I'll never forget it. Literally from Buffalo, and like this fool, like They can't be laughing like he's like, what y'all some skiers or something? Like he thought we was some like, cause ain't really a bunch of black folks there. Like what y'all like supposed to do some ski competition, some wild shit. He said. I'm like, huh? Like skiers? Like nah, bro. I ain't never skied in my life. I don't got nothing against nobody skiing. Maybe I try here and there. I mean, I'm not too fond of the snow, which is one of the reasons why I left Buffalo because I don't really like snow personally, but some people do, and I'm not knocking nobody that like to ski or like snow, but I don't. But yeah, it's just wild to me. Like people got this weird perception of, I guess, certain cities if they, I guess they don't know nothing about it or they haven't seen the representation out there like they have some of these major cities. So it is just like I said, it's amazing. It's very dope to me, like to see somebody from my city that's representing my city. I don't live in Buffalo anymore, but I spent a lot of years there, and it's just great to me to see our representation out there because it's yeah, it's not really no success stories coming out of here. It's hard to come from here. Like it's you don't really have the infrastructure like to make shit happen. Like you just don't. So I mean, some people say like now, like I've even heard the excuse out there like, oh yeah, you got this online now, you can discover it online, but it's not that simple. It's really not. Like you need to get out and go places. Like it's not. You can't just post some shit online and expect shit to thrive. Now that'd be dope, and it does happen. People go viral all the time, but you do need to get out and explore to tap into those markets. You do need to go out. You need to go to Atlanta, maybe. You need to go to New York City. You need to go to LA or wherever, to Houston, wherever. Some of these made bigger markets to make shit happen. Uh, but that doesn't mean you don't forget where you come from and make representation. Because these cats were at Buffalo hard. They Bills fan. I'm not a Bills fan personally myself, but I'll never forget where I came from, Buffalo. Uh, and just to see that representation is amazing. So yeah, people got this wild perception of a lot of things in life too. Like not just like, well, I'm not just talking about Buffalo, but this it's just me personally because I've seen how people have reacted and people I've spoken to personally about their perception on what Buffalo is. Like people just literally, it's just funny. Like people literally have no idea. And then again, I brought to realize how would they? Because we don't have like the TV shows out there. We don't got the movies. We don't got like Juice out there. Like we don't got New Jack City. We don't got Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society. We don't got Crooklyn or some of these other great movies out there, right? Where it's representation of these neighborhoods, like people like where it seem relatable and like. But yeah, there's no representation like that in Buffalo. Like, and not even just the movies, but just like the music or just like people got this public perception. That's what a lot of people see, like on TV or like on your cell phone now, because the way the world works now. But yeah, it's just things are not always what they appear. I guess from the surface, and that's not even just with cities, just with people too. Like people try to put on this perception of how you should be, right? Or depending on where you at, where you from. I mean, me personally, I don't give a fuck about none of that. You gonna like me for me, you gonna not like me for me. It is what it is. Going about your day. I ain't gonna lose no damn sleep over it. If you fuck with me, I appreciate it. Big ups, and that's love. I appreciate that. But if you don't, that's cool too. But you can fall in the ditch if you don't fuck with me. I really don't care. But it is what it is, man. Like but people, yeah, it's just wild how people have perceived certain things or certain cities, certain things about people a certain way, and I just wanted to address that this week because I thought it was a good opportunity to talk about Griselda because for one, Benny dropping his album, Conway just dropped his album. And just see like, man, Conway shine. Well, he was signed to Eminem, and they're doing their own thing. Benny signed a major label, Def Jam now, and to see some cats from Buffalo, We ain't never seen no shit like this from my city, from Buffalo. It's just crazy. And these cats is from not too grew up, literally not too far from where I did, cause I'm from the east side of Buffalo. So it's yeah, man, it's wild. And the people that I met in LA, like from like, cause I mean, you got people in LA from everywhere. Like it's a global city. Like people from Iowa out here, people from Indiana, from states I probably wouldn't have met them if I didn't come to LA. Maybe, who knows? But and people from everywhere, NYC, wherever. But Texas, all that. But people I met from Buffalo. Not that it's a problem and it's not an issue. It's just like most of them white. I don't think I've met another, and I know they're out here. But yeah, I haven't met any other black folks from. Cause a lot of us from like my neck of the woods. Like I think a lot of black folks from Buffalo. A lot of them have moved down to Atlanta. A lot of them have moved down to Charlotte, North Carolina, other places. But like yeah, some have come to LA, but not a lot of us out here. So I guess especially out west, people might have reason to have this perception they have of Buffalo and other places. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. We can't just some people can't have it, so you just don't know. Like, but yeah, perception. Things are not always what they seem. The way you perceive something might not necessarily be what it is, and that's the same with people too. Like just because you hear something about somebody, don't make it true. Uh, Whether it's a good thing or negative thing, whatever it is. Sometimes you do your own due diligence, do your homework. Not just about Buffalo, but I think this is a good opportunity to talk about just perception, how things are perceived, especially in Los Angeles, Hollywood. Because there's a lot of pretenders out here, and I know this is saying out here, fake it till you make it. Me, I'm gonna just keep being me. I'm gonna be real. That's the only thing I know how to do. Like I'm not gonna try and be something I'm not. That's whack to me. Like that's just whack to me. I don't like that idea of being something you're not. But when things get better, you get more resources, more opportunity, more money, then you can do more things or look a certain way, I guess. But that don't make you a different person unless who you are. But yeah, for people, we just gotta do our due diligence and ask more questions. We can't just assume things are what they are. Just gotta do our due diligence and yeah, do your own research. Ask questions. Ask people how they doing. For one, we need to do more of that. Ask people how they really doing for real. Cause people hurt out here. Ask people how they doing. Be willing to listen more. You know, because people's attention span's so short. You do more listening and, you know, out there and fuck with each other for real. Like really try and dial in and see people need help, and you just can't perceive things what they are. And you know, some is what they are. Some things are what they are. But yeah, I'm gonna just leave it on that. And I'm about to get up out of here. That's it for me this week. So yeah, word of the week was perception. Things are not always what they appear. So yeah. Remember to always stay safe, stay positive, and always, of course, stay sucker free. I'm out.